trial. The city of Atlanta has now targeted Lil Baby, and the accusations are deadly. Atlanta is back on its bullshit. After the complete failure that was the YSL trial.
Check me good. You on the camera? I got a gun in my nut. Check me good. I got a gun. Alright, y'all let me that car shoot myself dead. Y'all fire. Super hard.
Alright, let's dive deep into this seismic tremor shaking the foundations of the hip-hop world. Get ready, because what's unfolding is absolutely wild. A story ripped straight from the digital streets that has everyone talking, questioning everything, and scrambling for answers. The internet is in a frenzy, a firestorm ignited by whispers, rumors, and now alleged footage that has sent shockwaves through the culture like nothing we've seen in a long time. It involves two titans of the industry. Artists whose careers are built on authenticity, loyalty, and street credibility. We're talking about Lil Durk and Lil Baby, names synonymous with success and respect in their lanes. But a narrative is currently going viral, one that, if true, could completely redefine everything we thought we knew about their relationship and the unwritten codes of the street and the music business. This is not just gossip. This is a potential paradigm shift in how trust is viewed at the highest levels. The story exploded seemingly out of nowhere, a rumor surfacing online that quickly gained traction. Then, the murmurs turned into roars with the alleged appearance of a piece of footage, a video. Audio recording, the details are debated, but the core claim is explosive. This footage, according to the online chatter, reportedly contains Lil Durk making statements that are being widely interpreted as detrimental to Lil Baby. In the often harsh world of hip-hop, where the concept of snitching carries an almost unforgivable stigma, these allegations are not just serious, but they are potentially career-altering, loyalty-shattering. It is the kind of development that stops everything in its tracks, forcing everyone to pay attention, to watch, to listen, to try and make sense of the unbelievable. Now, let's break down the context, because without understanding the world these artists inhabit and the significance of the claims
that circled the apartment complex twice before 6 armed individuals got out and opened fire. Multiple shell casings were left at the scene from 556, 762 to 223. Lamont was found with a gunshot to the head, while Jacody was shot repeatedly in the chest. 7 members of OMF / the Goodfellas would be arrested, including Keontae Sanders, the cousin of Trevante, who was planning revenge from prison. It's alleged OMF were hunting 4 PF members and ended up jumping out and gunning down kids with rifles. So here's the twist. Atlanta's homicide commander would blame Lil Baby for causing this shooting.
Major Ralph Woolfolk of the Violent Crime Interdiction Section. And I first want to say the overall theme of this case is grown men claims.
It's impossible to grasp the magnitude of the situation. Lil Durk and Lil Baby have publicly shared a bond that appeared strong, built on mutual respect, collaborations, and navigating the complexities of fame and street life side by side. They have presented a united front, brothers in arms in the competitive landscape of music. This perceived closeness is exactly why the current allegations are so shocking and have created such a massive reaction. The idea that one would in any way compromise the other, especially in a manner interpreted as snitching, flies directly in the face of the image and narrative they have cultivated. What exactly is this alleged footage? The descriptions circulating online are varied, adding to the confusion and the frenzy. Some claim it's a video recording of a conversation, others say it's audio. The setting is unclear, the timing is debated, but the crucial element that has sparked this inferno is the interpretation of the content. People online are dissecting every alleged word, every supposed nuance, looking for confirmation, looking for denial, looking for any piece of information that can either validate or debunk the claim that Lil Durk made statements that could be construed as providing information harmful to Lil Baby. It's important to state here with absolute clarity that the authenticity of this footage is still the subject of intense debate, and the interpretation of its contents is even more contentious. The online world is a place where things can go viral instantly. Views where narratives are shaped and spread at lightning speed, often without full verification. This situation is a prime example of that digital wildfire. Let's talk about the concept of snitching in the culture, because its weight cannot be overstated. Many communities, particularly those reflected in certain corners of hip-hop, cooperating with law enforcement, providing information that could lead to the arrest
of OMF members, planning retaliation on John Smith, who was known as 4PF J-Shot, a close associate of Lil Baby's, who investigators listed as a gang leader. OMF believed J-Shot is the one who killed Trevante in the apartment. On July 2nd, 2024, OMF would strike. It was 12:34 a.m. when Atlanta PD responded to the West End Apartments in Oakland City, the heart of 4PF territory. They'd find 13-year-old Lamont Freeman dead at the scene, 13-year-old Jacody Davis in critical condition, and 11-year-old Dontavius Davis with a gunshot to the foot. Jacody Davis would die at the hospital. Investigators would learn the Davis brothers had left their apartment just before midnight to wish Lamont a happy birthday when they were ambushed. Surveillance footage from multiple locations spotted two vehicles
or indictment of others is seen as the ultimate betrayal. It violates a code of silence, a deeply ingrained mistrust of the authorities. Artists who are perceived to have broken this code often face severe backlash, ostracization, and damage to their credibility that can be impossible to recover from. Their music, their persona, their entire brand is often built on a foundation of street authenticity. And snitching is the antithesis of that. So when allegations of this nature surface about an artist like Lil Durk, whose music often touches on themes of loyalty and street life, the reaction is bound to be extreme, visceral. From my perspective, observing how this is unfolding online, it highlights the incredible power of social media to amplify rumors and create narratives. A snippet, a screenshot, an audio clip, real or fabricated, accurately interpreted, or completely misunderstood, can take on a life of its own, spreading across platforms, reaching millions within hours. The speed at which this alleged footage and its accompanying narrative have dominated online conversations is truly astonishing. It shows how hungry the public is for drama, for perceived scandal, especially when it involves high-profile figures they feel connected to through their music. The alleged content of the footage, based on the circulating rumors, is said to be highly specific, though the specifics vary depending on who you ask online. Some accounts claim it relates to past events, others to ongoing situations. The key element is that whatever was allegedly said is being framed as potentially providing law enforcement with information that could implicate Lil Baby in some form. Again, this is all based on interpretation and unverified claims about unverified footage. But the perception is what is driving this narrative, and in the court of public opinion that operates on social media,
Atlanta is back on its bullshit. After the complete failure that was the YSL trial, the city of Atlanta has now targeted Lil Baby, and the accusations are deadly. The Atlanta Police Homicide Commander would go as far as blaming Lil Baby for the double murder of two teens and connect him to a long, bloody series of violent events. So in this video, we'll be covering the Lil Baby 4PF RICO that never happened. May 14, 2024, 30-year-old Dominique Jones, who's more commonly known as Atlanta's own superstar rapper Lil Baby, was set to shoot a music video. The location? Dixie Hills. This was Zone 1, West Atlanta, at the very beginning of the old Hidden Village apartments. A mostly abandoned, half-torn down apartment complex with a violent history that
perception can quickly become a powerful, albeit often inaccurate, reality. Think about the pressure cooker environment these artists live in. They are constantly under scrutiny. Their every move, every word, every association is analyzed and debated online. Their lyrics are scrutinized, their friendships are watched, and anything that deviates from the expected narrative is seized upon. In this context, an allegation of snitching, especially involving someone as close as Lil Baby is perceived to be to Lil Durk, is the ultimate fuel for the fire. It taps into fundamental themes of loyalty and betrayal that resonate deeply, not just in the culture, but in the broader human experience. Let's consider the possible scenarios purely speculatively, because that's what everyone online is doing right now. If the footage is real, could it be taken out of context? Could a casual conversation be misinterpreted? Could pressure from external forces play a role? Could it be old footage being resurfaced and recontextualized? Could it be entirely fabricated, a deepfake designed to sow discord? These are the questions that are swirling, and until concrete, verified information emerges, speculation will continue. to dominate, and the online world is built on speculation, on filling in the blanks, often with the most dramatic and sensational possibilities. The reaction from fans has been immediate and intense. You see staunch defenders of both artists, people who refuse to believe the allegations, citing the public history of friendship and loyalty. Then you see others who are quick to condemn, arguing that the code is absolute and any perceived violation is unforgivable. There's a massive wave of skepticism towards the footage itself, with many pointing out how easily things can be faked or manipulated in the digital age. But there's also a palpable sense of shock and disappointment.
Even Google Earth will show you it's still very much the hood. And apparently, it was a hood Lil Baby wasn't supposed to be in. They began filming the music video with a whole production crew present when gunfire erupted. Atlanta police received calls just before 5 p.m. stating multiple people had been shot, and when they arrived on scene, they located a 24-year-old man shot in the arm and a 27-year-old man shot in the back. The victims were alert, conscious, and breathing. A 23-year-old man who couldn't wait for police was driven to the hospital with a gunshot to the neck. He too would survive.
Tonight at 11, police are working to try to find out who opened fire on the set of a music video reportedly featuring Atlanta's very own Lil Baby.
The shooting happened just before 5 o'clock tonight. There is a map right here on your screen of where this all took place on Verbena Street. That's in the Dixie Hills neighborhood and the northwest part.
Among those who looked up to the bond between Durk and Baby as an example of loyalty at the highest level. This isn't just about two artists. For many fans, it touches on themes of trust and betrayal that they relate to in their own lives. The silence or lack of definitive public statements from the artists or their official camps regarding this specific alleged footage is also contributing to the frenzy. In the absence of clear communication, the vacuum is filled by speculation and rumors. People are desperate for answers, for clarification, for someone to step forward and address the elephant in the room. However, there could be countless valid reasons for silence, including legal advice, waiting for verification, or simply choosing not to dignify unverified rumors with a response. But in the court of public opinion, silence can sometimes be interpreted in different ways, further fueling the speculative fire. Now, let's talk about the impact, purely hypothetically, if these allegations were ever substantiated, which again, they are not currently, the damage to reputation and credibility in this industry when claims of this nature surface can be immense. Trust is currency, especially for artists who build their brand on authenticity and street narratives. An allegation of snitching, even if unproven, can erode that trust among fans and peers alike. Collaborations could become complicated. Public appearances might be viewed through a different lens, and the narrative surrounding the artist could fundamentally change. This is the potential fallout that makes this situation so critical and so widely discussed. Consider the broader implications for the hip-hop community. These kinds of allegations and the intense reactions they provoke highlight the complex and often contradictory pressures artists face. They navigate the demands of the music industry, the expectations of their fan base, and the unwritten
search by the FBI after the Bureau executed federal search warrants in California, Las Vegas, and Arizona.
The warrants were made in connection to investigations around, quote, allegations of criminal
codes of the environments they came from. It's a tightrope walk, and any perceived misstep, especially one touching on something as sensitive as loyalty and the code, can have severe consequences. This situation, the virality of the alleged footage and the ferocity of the reaction, serves as a stark reminder of those pressures. From my perspective, watching this unfold also raises questions about the responsibility of those circulating unverified information online. The speed at which these serious allegations spread without concrete proof or context is concerning. It demonstrates how quickly a narrative can be constructed and disseminated in the digital age, potentially causing significant harm to individuals' reputations before any truth can be established. There's a rush to be the first to report, the first to comment, the first to share, and in that rush, accuracy and verification can often be overlooked. The focus on the legal aspect, even in the context of online rumors, is also telling. While the initial spread is driven by social media chatter and cultural norms around snitching, The underlying fear for many is how such alleged statements, even if from private conversations, could potentially be used in legal proceedings. This adds another layer of gravity to the situation, transforming it from just industry drama into something with potentially serious real-world consequences, purely speculatively, of course, given the lack of confirmed details. Think about the ripple effect this has. Other artists are watching, managers are watching, labels are watching. It creates an atmosphere of caution and perhaps even suspicion. It forces people to reevaluate relationships and trust within the industry. The impact of a viral narrative, especially one as explosive as this, extends far beyond the individuals directly involved. It affects the ecosystem around them. The conversation online is a mix of genuine concern, outrage.
They raided the Phoenix facility in hazmat suits as part of a multi-state investigation into the illegal trafficking and sale of human body parts. But for the first time, we're now able to see the testimony from one of the FBI agents who conducted the raid, and what he recounts is shocking.
Disbelief, and unfortunately, a lot of negativity and speculation presented as fact. People are taking sides, digging into past events to find context or justification for their stance, and debating the nature of loyalty itself. It's a microcosm of how the internet reacts to perceived scandal, amplifying every angle, every rumor, every hot take. This situation underscores how fragile reputation can be in the digital age. Years of building a brand, cultivating an image, and demonstrating loyalty can be instantly challenged by a single unverified piece of content circulating online. The speed of information spread means that the damage can be done and the narrative can be set long before any official response or clarification can be provided. It's a powerful and at times frightening aspect of living in our interconnected world. As the days pass, the intensity of the online conversation may ebb and flow. But the core questions raised by this alleged footage and the resulting narrative will likely linger. What is the truth behind the footage? Was it misinterpreted? Is it even real? And regardless of the truth, what does the sheer magnitude of the reaction say about the values and codes that are most important in the hip-hop community and among its fans? These are the kinds of situations that spark deep conversations, debate about authenticity, loyalty, and the complex realities artists face as they navigate fame and their pasts. This is a developing story, one that is evolving rapidly in the unpredictable environment of social media. The allegations are serious, the reaction is intense, and the implications, should any part of the circulating narrative prove to be true, are massive. The world is watching, waiting to see how this unfolds, how the artists involved might respond, and what the ultimate truth behind this viral firestorm might be.
Why file this right now? Let's just start there, the timing of it.
Jesse, great to be on as always, and I guess better late than never when it comes to the Department of Justice. But really, 1 month before trial is...
Stay on top of every twist and turn in this unprecedented situation and get in-depth analysis as it develops. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel right now. Don't miss out on breaking down these major moments shaking the culture. Hit that subscribe button. The collapse of the YSL, Young Slime Life trial in Atlanta sent shockwaves through both the legal and music communities. Prosecutors had hoped to dismantle what they described as a criminal enterprise, led by Young Thug Gunna and others associated. With the collective, however, the case unraveled due to weak evidence, overzealous charges, and public backlash over perceived prosecutorial overreach. Critics argued that the trial was less about justice and more about targeting rap artists for their lyrical content and affiliations. In the aftermath, law enforcement faced mounting pressure to prove its commitment to combating gang violence in Atlanta, a city plagued by rising crime rates and systemic inequality. Enter Lil Baby, one of Atlanta's most celebrated rappers, whose meteoric rise from street hustler to global superstar made him an easy target. Despite his lack of direct involvement in criminal activity, authorities began scrutinizing his every move, framing him as a symbol of unchecked gang influence within the music industry. This shift reflects broader patterns where law enforcement uses high-profile cases to demonstrate resolve. By focusing on Lil Baby, officials aim to send a message. One, regardless of fame or fortune, is above accountability. Yet this approach raises ethical questions. Is it fair to hold an artist responsible for crimes committed by individuals loosely tied to their circle? And does targeting musicians address the root causes of gang violence, such as poverty, lack of education, and systemic neglect? Moreover, the post-YSL trial environment created fertile ground for speculation and
He was convicted on his charges. He's not facing light time. He's facing life in prison. Now, last time I reported on this story, we had little info about the man he's accused of murdering, beyond that he was an aspiring rap artist signed to his label.
Information media outlets amplified claims linking Lil Baby to violent incidents, often without verifying facts. This narrative-building process not only tarnished his reputation, but also diverted attention from structural issues contributing to Atlanta's gang problem. As tensions escalated, Lil Baby found himself at the center of a storm he neither initiated nor controlled. The chaotic music video incident. The music video shoot that sparked widespread controversy took place in Dixie Hills, a neighborhood notorious for its gang activity and frequent outbreaks of violence. On paper, filming in such a volatile area seemed reckless, yet it wasn't entirely surprising given Lil Baby's roots in Atlanta's streets. For many local residents, seeing a hometown hero like Lil Baby return to film added a layer of excitement and danger. As cameras rolled, chaos erupted when gunfire broke out unexpectedly. Multiple people were injured, though thankfully no fatalities occurred during the incident itself. Eyewitness accounts suggested the shooting stemmed from pre-existing tensions between rival gangs operating in the area. Some speculated that Lil Baby's presence acted as a catalyst, drawing unwanted attention and provoking retaliation. Others dismissed this theory, arguing that violence in Dixie Hills was inevitable and unrelated to the rapper's activities. The choice of location remains a point of contention. Why would Lil Baby's production team select such a risky spot for a high-profile project? Industry insiders suggest logistical reasons, including authenticity and proximity to Lil Baby's origins. Filming in familiar surroundings allowed him to pay homage to his community while reinforcing his image as a voice for marginalized youth. However, critics counter that prioritizing aesthetics over safety demonstrated poor judgment, especially considering the state.
But I don't want to do that right now. I want to get right into this. I want to bring on Elizabeth Milner, law and crimes reporter, who is in that courtroom for another
stakes involved. Following the incident, social media buzzed with reactions ranging from outrage to sympathy. Supporters defended Lil Baby, emphasizing his contributions to Atlanta's cultural landscape, while detractors seized the opportunity to criticize his ties to alleged gang affiliates. Regardless of intent, the fallout underscored the complexities of navigating fame amidst urban strife. It also highlighted how quickly situations can spiral out of control when art intersects with real-world conflict zones. Gang rivalry roots. To understand the dynamics surrounding Lil Baby, it's crucial to delve into the intricate web of gang rivalries shaping Atlanta's underworld. Central to this narrative are two groups: PF, for Pockets Full, which Lil Baby co-founded, and OMF, Ops Make Friends, an offshoot of the older Goodfellas gang. Their feud dates back to 2021, when a young OMF member nicknamed Big Mark was murdered under circumstances implicating 4PF members. This event ignited a cycle of vengeance marked by retaliatory attacks, drive-by shootings, and escalating tensions. While neither Lil Baby nor any other prominent figures have been formally charged in connection with Big Mark's death, rumors persist about their involvement. These whispers contribute to a toxic atmosphere, where alliances blur, motives remain unclear, and casualties mount. For outsiders, deciphering fact from fiction proves challenging. Gang culture thrives on secrecy and coded language, making it difficult for investigators to piece together timelines or assign blame definitively. Moreover, the decentralized nature of modern gangs complicates efforts to identify leaders or hierarchies. Instead, loose networks operate based on shared affiliations rather than formal structures, further muddying the waters.
These people, we know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by a price? What do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harmed or killed.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
And if they're about to play the call, but her conclusions and her interpretation is not the evidence.
Well, I think she was just identifying who was on the call, so I'm going to overrule. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's going on? Man, them folks, like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them folks got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on that are at the 1043 Spark Street location.
Yeah, one just flashed on the screen.
Okay, so we've already seen a portion of that then.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you saw this video, and then you saw that the artist that's depicted in this video, John J. Smith, was also the person depicted in the disappearing message. And on what day was that message sent?
Sent on June 30th. I believe it was read on July 1st.
From what I've gathered, it's unclear why they sent J-Shot pictures and disappearing messages.
All right.
We're going to play a video.
Investigator Vivarito, if you'll look at the, there we go, at the monitor in front of you. Is this the music video that you were referring to?
I'd have to see the title of it.
This beat go crazy.
J-Shot Who Want Problems music video?
Yes, that's the one I'm referring to.
All right. And there are certain shots of this video that